Twisted terror, terror's cry. Twisted terrors in the body, that funny man of fuse that
You are watching Twisted Terrors. Now your host, Zomboy.
You will scream with terror. You will beg for release. But there will be no escape, for there is no release from the Funhouse.
What is going on, horror fanatics? Zomboy here. You're watching another episode of Twisted Terrors. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about 1981's The Funhouse. This movie was directed by Tobe Hooper. It's rated R. Comes in an hour, 36 minutes long. IMDb has this one rated 5.9 out of 10. Letterboxd has it rated 3 out of 5. The tagline for this one is, pay to get in, pray to get out. Sorry, it's been a while since I've made a video. I have been pretty sick for the last week and a half. I don't know if you can tell by my voice. I'm not 100% yet, but I figured I might as well give this a go now that at least I can speak. But let's talk about this movie. So this movie starts off, you are following 4 friends. I'll name them from left to right. You have Richie, which is played by Miles Chapin. Buzz, played by Cooper Huckabee. Amy, played by Elizabeth Bainbridge. And Liz, who's played by Largo Woodruff. These 4 characters are planning to go to a traveling carnival that has touchdown in their neighborhood. Amy's parents are very against this because they said the last time it was there, 2 people went missing from the carnival and they didn't want her to go. So they lied and said they're going to the movies. You meet Amy's brother, who is kind of a little turd. The beginning of this movie is kind of odd. She is taking a shower while he's gearing up with a knife and a mask. Goes into the bathroom, opens the shower curtain, and pretends to stab her to death with a rubber knife. So, of course, it doesn't hurt her, but he is in the bathroom now with his naked sister, which is very odd. But she gets mad and tells him that she's not going to take him to the carnival. She was going to take him on the weekend. And the friends set off for the carnival. The friends do many fun things at the carnival. They go to see a magician.
Oh my God! Is there a doctor in the house? Right! Ladies and gentlemen, my charming daughter, Carnival.
They go to see an oddity area that had 2-headed cows and 2-headed fetuses and all kinds of oddities from around the world.
Hey, it's not gonna rub off on you.
Let's hope not.
They go get their palm read at a fortune teller.
It means you were born with a knowledge of the occult.
And then they notice the tent of nude girls. And of course, they don't want to pay the $3 to get in. So they go around back and cut a hole in the tent. And they're staring at the nude women inside who are putting on a show for a tent full of men. And these were all local strippers from the Florida area that they found and hired for this scene, because that's where this was filmed, down in Florida. Cuts back to the brother. The brother's sneaking out of the house and is deciding to walk all the way to the carnival. Now, they don't explain how far this is, but it takes him a while. It's nighttime, and you get this very odd scene of a man pulling up, telling him to get in the truck, and he'll give him a ride. And then he pulls a shotgun out and points it at the kid. The kid screams and runs, and the man laughs. It's a very odd choice, but it is what it is. So he's making his way to the carnival. Richie decides it would be fun if they spent the night in the Funhouse. So they come up with an idea, and the girls go and call their moms, tell them they're spending the night at friends' houses, and they go get in line for the Funhouse. The brother's watching from across the way. He watches, they go into the Funhouse, He's waiting a while and noticing nothing but empty carts coming out the other side. That's because the friends got off inside the ride. Closing time, everything's getting locked up. They're cleaning, emptying garbages, and of course the couples inside the funhouse are making out on the ground, maybe a little bit more, when they start noticing some noises from under the floor. So they end up going over and looking through the cracks in the floor, and you have one of the carnival workers who was working outside the funhouse, who has a Frankenstein mask on, is meeting with the fortune teller. I guess he's propositioning the fortune teller for a good time, and gives her $100, and he ends up getting upset because he's done very quickly, ends up getting mad at her and strangles her to death as they're watching through the floor. Finally, the barker from the ride, who's been outside, comes in and basically tells him it's fine, but don't kill the family. It's fine if you do it to the locals, but not our family. And now we're going to have to clean up this mess, and we'll just blame it on the locals. You get this crazy scene where the Frankenstein character finally takes his mask off, and he's a hideous monster underneath. And he's got all these teeth, and he's like this bluish white color with all this hair. And Richie's lighter falls out of his pocket and goes through the cracks of the floor, falling down below. And that's when the barker realizes there's someone up above. So he's calling for him, telling him to come down, that it's fine. He just wants to talk to him, give him their lighter.
Tell me where.
You up there? Come on down now. I want to talk to you. Come on, I just want to give you your lighter back.
And of course, they don't go down there. You can hear the barker and the monster are going to have to go upstairs and clean up the mess. The friends are trying to get out of the carnival ride, and they realize they're chained in. There's no way out. And so at this point, they're getting hunted down one by one by this monster who, I think Richie dies first. He gets picked up by a noose and hung to death. And you have Liz. She ends up falling through a trapdoor and underneath the building somewhere in the vent, where the monster comes into the vent, and you get this awkward scene where she's basically propositioning the monster that she'll make him feel good, and ends up stabbing him. But at this point you realize this monster is just it's a sexual predator. I mean, you find out from the conversations of this movie that it's happened before. They talk about the 2 girls the year before, how he just wants girls and basically kills them. And so it's kind of awkward in that sense, but I mean, he is frightening. Then all you have left, you have Buzz and Amy are the only 2 left, and they're trying to survive. At one point, you've got Buzz and the barker. They're having a fight, ends up killing the barker, which really makes the monster mad, because you find out that the barker was actually his father, and the monster ends up killing Buzz, leaving Amy. Amy's going down into the basement and through the vents and into this room underneath, built of concrete with all these cogs and chains, and you get this final girl battle between her and the monster, and she ends up knocking him into an electrical panel, which shocks him, and then one of the chains with hooks onto him and pulls him into the gearing and kills him. And she finally gets out of the funhouse, which I'm not really sure how she got out, but she walks out of the funhouse, and that is the end of the movie. This is a fun movie. It is an 80s time capsule when it comes to the way it was shot, the way the actors look, the way they talk, the way they dress. It's got a really neat grain to it. You know, this movie is directed by Tobe Hooper, which I think this was after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out, and it's got a little bit of that grit to it, which I really like. So the aesthetic for this movie is amazing. I love the carnival set. It looks really neat. I love the sounds. It's really fun. Makes me really want to go there. This movie, I mean, it does have some problems. I mean, this is supposed to be a mobile carnival, and I mean, just this fun ride that they're on has basements and rooms under the basement made of concrete with cogs and all these moving mechanisms, and it doesn't seem very mobile. From the front it looks like it, but the inside's massive. But I mean, it's 3 stories tall, built down into the ground, so unless that was a permanent structure, it's not very mobile. And then also, you find out early on, it's the last night of the carnival, so why the friends even agree to spend the night in there knowing that they're gonna pack up and leave early in the morning. It doesn't make much sense to me either. And the monster, I'm not a huge fan of his face reveal. It looks a little goofy and it looks like a mask. But I will say, the acting was great in this movie. Like I said, the whole set design and music design in this is great. It's a fun movie. I remember watching this movie from pretty early on in my life, and so it's got a fond place in my heart. And even to this day, I watched it today just to kind of recap on it, and it's just as fun for me to watch today. It's eerie and creepy, and if you're into carnivals and monsters, you definitely like this one. And it's kind of neat, if you ever watch the Billy Idol music video for Dancing with Myself, some of the props from this movie he actually reused in that music video. I did, when I watched it, I noticed a couple of them. I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot more I'm not seeing, but it's kind of know he directed that music video, so he reused some of his props. And you find out Steven Spielberg actually asked Tobe Hooper to direct E.T., but he turned it down because he was filming this movie. Sometimes I wonder if he regretted that decision, since E.T. really took off and this one didn't really take off. It's kind of got a cult following to it now, but in its time, it did okay. I highly recommend watching this movie. It's a fun watch. Like I said, the acting's good. The characters are fun. I do wish there was some backstory to the monster. They don't explain anything about him except for he was born that way and that's why he wears the Frankenstein mask. There's not much explanation there, but it is a fun movie. There's some decent kills. The inside of the Funhouse is really cool. It definitely reminds me of those cheap, movable dark house rides that you see at the carnivals. But this is Zomboy saying thank you for watching. I will see you on the next video. Keep it scary. Bye.